Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live stream. Let me just get my volume set up here. Wait a few seconds for some folks to join us. There's my chat coming through. All right, got some people checking in. Hello, a lot of people checking in. I'm doing great. Lufty, thanks for asking. We are starting our first day of daylight savings time today, and so I lost an hour of sleep last night, so this morning was an early morning, but we're doing okay. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to another live stream. I want to welcome you back. I also want to welcome back, of course, we have Dennis on the phone today with some comments. Hi, Dennis.
How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. Make sure I have your volume up so we all can hear your lovely voice. Great. So welcome everybody. I'm going to give some shout outs. Hi Victoria, and to Jonas and Eddie. I guess that's Eddie. Caleb goes to Walnut Grove Middle School. Shout out to Walnut Grove Middle School. So welcome. Hi August, and it's me Andrew. You know what? I'm going to jump right in. It's me Andrew asked me a question and asked, what is my original instrument? Does anyone know what my original instrument is? Anyone want to guess? I'm going to give you a couple seconds to guess while I get my instrument. The first instrument I played. Anyone want to guess what instrument was my first instrument? Anyone know? And, oh, someone got it, but that went by really fast. Anil, you got it. And Lufty and Anel. This was my first instrument. And this is a clarinet, of course. So I started on clarinet when I was in 5th grade. So in my school, like around my area, band starts in 4th grade in a lot of school districts. And I think when I was in 4th grade, I think I missed the letter that went home. My friends started in band and I kind of missed the memo. So I joined in 5th grade. And I played clarinet. So I really love clarinet. Now when I got into high school, my band director in high school needed another student to play saxophone. So in high school I started also playing tenor sax. And I played tenor sax in the high school jazz band. And I continued to play clarinet. And then I decided I wanted to do music for a living. I wanted to be a music teacher. So I went to college and was a saxophone major, but I also played clarinet. So I want to tell you about some cool things I did this week. And this is such a busy week. I don't know about you guys, but this is a really busy time of year for me at school. A lot of things we have going on. I can't believe February is over already, but earlier this week, I took my high school jazz band on a trip. We went on a trip to a festival at Temple University. And if you check out my Instagram right over here, Instagram at Dr. Selfridge. If you follow me on that, I'll give you a shout out here on the live stream. But if you check out my most recent post on Instagram, I put up some video and some photos of our really cool festival we did at Temple University. It was called the Essentially Ellington Festival. So there was all these high school bands from all over, and they were really, really, really good. It was really a cool experience. And then at the end of the day, the Temple Big Band did a performance, and that was just so insanely good. We had such a great time. Thank you to Me Not You for following me on Instagram. So check out those videos or those pictures. Jonathan Garcia, thank you for the follow. So that was my Tuesday. Then, geez, it was such a busy week. Then Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we have our High School Musical happening. Thank you, Andrew, for the follow. We have our High School Musical. We're doing Annie at our high school. So that's been really busy. A couple of my band members are in the pit orchestra for that. That was really great. I went to see that show Friday night. Such an awesome production. The pit orchestra sounded really great. The singers and dancers were all amazing. It was really cool. Also on Thursday, I took my high school band, 3 of my high school band members went to regional band. That is the level of honors band right before All-State. So we went to Central Bucks West High School. They had their rehearsals Thursday and Friday. Their concert was yesterday. It's just a super busy time. So really great stuff happening. Why don't we jump in? Thank you, Prince, for the follow on Instagram. Dennis, I haven't been following the comments. Do you see a question that came through that looks like a good one to start off with?
Yeah. Jim Ryan asked early on, how do you not blow too much air in a flute? You feels like he's blowing too much air into the flute.
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question. Someone asked, how do you not blow too much air into the flute? So the big problem a lot of beginner flute players have is you run out of air and you get lightheaded, right? Isn't it hard when you're a beginner flute player to hold a long note? Well, here's the secret to not running out of air and not losing your breath and not getting lightheaded on the flute. A lot of flute players let out way too much air from the aperture. That's the hole that you make with your lips. So thank you, Denise, for the follow. So the biggest thing when you're playing flute is, I always tell my students, when you make your flute face, don't think about you're making a hole with your lips like, that lets out way too much air. Say the letter M, but don't tuck your lips in like this. Letter M, like you're sleeping, right? Real relaxed. Tuck the flute here, and then keep your lips together, and then you blow air out through the middle of your lips like you're starting with the sound of the letter P. So listen. Can you hear me make that sound of, it's like the air is just leaking. And then, you make a nice clear sound, and this is the sound of, with your aperture is too big, too much air. Recognize that sound? That's what a lot of beginner flute players sound like. You have to go. That's how you not let out too much air on the flute. So I'm trying to catch some of your comments coming through here. So other questions. Denise is asking me to play Star Wars on the saxophone. Sure, I can do that real quick. I want to show you, actually, since I'm going to play Star Wars on the saxophone, I want to show you my tenor sax. Check it out. Hatcher is asking, do I play the tuba? I have played the tuba. I don't have my own tuba. I have one at school that I play on sometimes. So I do know how to play the tuba because, you know, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you play trumpet, your 3 valves that you know for trumpet, you can transfer those same notes onto tuba. You just have to know how to transpose. So if you put down 0 valves on the trumpet, you play like a C major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's the same thing on the tuba, except it's B flat scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that's one quick tip about that. All right, so here's my tenor sax, and I want to show you something cool about my tenor sax, y'all, all right? I just got a new reed. Look at this. Isn't that weird? Anyone ever seen a reed like this? So this is actually a synthetic, you might call it a plastic reed. What do they call it? I'm not exactly sure exactly what it's made out of. Now here's the thing with plastic reeds, okay? So some plastic reeds are not so great because you get like not a very good sound with a plastic reed. This one here, I've been hearing a lot of recommendations. It's called Legere. And I'm actually getting a pretty good sound with it. The sound you get is not quite as nice as like a real reed that's working really well. But I'll tell you what, it's kind of cool because you don't have to soak it. It just plays right away. And it's always consistent when you play it because it's not made out of wood. It's what they call synthetic. So I'm putting my reed on now. There it is. That's what it looks like. Doesn't it look kind of wacky, you know? It's like see-through. Alyssa says that she uses Legere reeds for marching band for clarinet, and it's great. That's awesome, Alyssa. I think I am going to recommend these for my students for marching band because they also, the great thing about synthetic reeds is when you bump them, they don't break as easily as a cane or a wood reed. All right, here is my synthetic reed. Thank you, Isaiah, for the follow on Instagram. I appreciate it. Bozu Novic is from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you for being here. Okay, so I'll play, I said I was going to play Star Wars. Here we go. Let me show you my fingers. So for Star Wars, I'm going to play C, G, F, E, D, high C, G. That's how it starts. That's the beginning of Star Wars main theme. All right, so there's that special request. I think I saw some of you all talking about that you have a solo and ensemble coming up. How many of you know what solo and ensemble is, or are you playing in your solo and ensemble? It's a special event where the students are encouraged to learn how to play solos. Hi Fabrizio, there's your shout out. The OP Gamer knows what solo ensemble is. Dennis, and if you could keep an eye, let me know if you see how many kids are chiming in on the solo and ensemble. Looks like Lufty got a gold. That's awesome. So solo and ensemble is when you practice a solo. So we're used to playing in a band where we have our part, like third clarinet or second trumpet, and you're used to playing with everyone in the band, and maybe there's a little bit of security. You're not as nervous because you have all these people around you. But when you play a solo, it's a real challenge because you have to be responsible for every single note and every single rhythm. Victoria says that she did it and it was so scary. But hopefully, Victoria, you felt proud. If anyone out there was scared about solo and ensemble, hopefully you felt good about it after you went out there and made yourself take that challenge. It's really good to push yourself to do that challenge. Okay, Dennis, do we have some people responding to that solo and ensemble?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of experience stuff, but do you have saying, yes, I did, yes, I did?
Great.
And they didn't give me specific stuff.
Okay. Yeah, just curious how many people are responding. So, yeah, what we'll do now, Dennis, if you saw a question come through that looks good, we'll take another question.
Okay. Someone was asking, what do you do if your flute has a dent in it?
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. What do you do if, okay, anyone out there, what do you do if your flute or your instrument has a dent in it? What do you do? Obviously, I would say take it to your band director, and then your band director, usually band directors can't fix a dent. Like a band director can fix, like if one of your keys is bent or if one of your springs popped out, or on your trumpet, if your mouthpiece is stuck or your valves are slow, your band director can help you with that. But if you have a dent, you really need to send it out to a music shop to get repaired, a music repair person. And some of you look like you got that answer. So that's a great question. That's a great question. And the first, maybe the best part to remember for that whole question is trying to prevent getting a dent in the first place. So you want to be very careful with your instrument. Make sure you always put it away in the case. Don't leave your instrument sitting out on a chair. Whenever you're taking a break from your instrument, you have to put it away in the case. And make sure, this has happened to my students, it happened to me once. Have you ever accidentally left your instrument case unlatched and then you pick it up and all the parts fall out? Has that ever happened to anyone? That is not a good thing. But hopefully once you see your friend do it by accident or you do it yourself, you'll remember. Few of you are checking in. I think you're saying yes to have you dropped your instrument. you will always remember to protect your instrument by closing the case and latching it. Okay, someone said it happened to me. All right, Aaliyah is asking me, can I play Dynamite on the alto sax? Sure, that is one of my old popular videos, and it's an old favorite. I've played it many times. So here's my alto sax. Now for my alto sax, I have a good old, oh, you can see my reed's a little bit old. I have to get a new reed. But I'm gonna put my reed on my alto sax, and I was holding my reeds in this little cup of water, okay? And that gets your reeds really nice and ready to go when you're getting ready to play. So here we go. I'm putting on my reed on my alto sax, and I'm gonna play Dynamite. Mac is asking if I can do more trumpet videos. Actually, I was just talking to Mr. Walton, who is in a lot of my trumpet videos, and we were just chatting because he played in the pit orchestra for Annie, and we were saying we need to get together and do some more trumpet videos. So Mr. Walton is going to be back with some more trumpet videos, and he's going to be on my live stream. Maybe we're going to try to do it, maybe not next week, but the week after. I think we're going to get Mr. Walton on my live stream. So I saw someone ask, Guess What is asking me, having trouble with high notes. Can you tell me what instrument you play? Guess What? I'm going to play Dynamite on the alto sax. Here we go. Dennis, if you could keep an eye out, there's a viewer named Guess What? And they had a question about high notes. I'm just not sure which instrument, okay?
All right, I will look for it.
Here's Dynamite. Let me try to remember how it goes. Okay, there is a little bit of Dynamite. That starts on an E. All right.
Yes, he plays clarinet.
Clarinet. Oh, I see. I just saw it come up. So Guess What is having trouble. Hi, Francesco. Hi, Francesco. I saw you were on my live stream last week, too, so thanks for being here. We're going to remember Francesco's question, Dennis, if we can, about how to get started on trumpet. Do you see that one?
I do.
Okay, let's remember that one. But I'm going to do high notes on clarinet right now. High notes on, now when you asked whoever asked about high notes on clarinet, I'm not sure. Do you mean the really high notes, or you may mean just going over the break? The first thing about playing high notes is learning how to press the register key, and you take a low note, like let's take a low C, and you play it real strong, and you just tap your thumb on the register key, just the tiniest bit, without moving your other fingers. So that's the first way of going over the break. You play a low note real strong, move your thumb to press the register key, and that gives you a high note. Okay, so Guess What is saying, yup, I think you're saying, oh, super high notes. Okay, so super high notes, what you need is, if you know the fingering, you're doing the fingering right, and it's just not working, you have to make sure your reed is, placed properly. Make sure it's a strong enough reed. Like if you're playing on a 2 or a 2.5, you're going to have problems with your super high notes because the reed is not strong enough to withstand the amount of strength that you're using to play those high notes. So your reed will close off and no air can go through. It can't vibrate. So Maximiliano, I will play you Happy Birthday, and everyone can sing along at home. So here is, you're going up your scale. As you're getting up high there, make sure you have a strong enough reed. You're using really good air. So there's your answer to high notes. Guess what? Now we are going to let's all sing, and let's all sing Happy Birthday to Maximiliano. I'm gonna play it. What instrument should I play Happy Birthday on? I will take a request on that. I'm going to play Happy Birthday on what instrument?
Alto sax.
Alto sax? Okay. Here we go. Everybody sing along. And a 1 and a 2. Awesome. Happy birthday. That's great. Now, getting back to our question of Francesco, was, Dennis, if I'm remembering this correct?
Yeah, Stepsy, he's starting the trumpet by himself. He wants to know what are some tips to help get him started.
Okay. So, number one thing to be successful on trumpet, I think, Francesco, is to really get the buzz, the vibration on the mouthpiece. This is everything on the trumpet. You can learn. The fingers are easy to learn. This is easy. This is the part to spend the most time on. So you take your mouthpiece, and you want to, when you practice with your mouthpiece, everyone, you want to hold it with just your thumb and 2 fingers, okay? Don't hold it with your fist, because then you're going to want to put too much pressure onto your lips. We don't want to press hard into the lips. Just set it gently on the lips. So I've heard a couple different ways to get the trumpet embouchure. Some people say M. Some people say dim, dim, because that makes your lips come in a little bit. Just a little bit. M. We're going to say M. And then we blow air through the middle. Don't let your air come out of here, just the middle. And then center the mouthpiece. And so now we just want to get our air going through. You hear the air? And if you keep your cheeks strong against your teeth, you keep your air moving faster, it's going to go into a buzz from air. Watch. Spend a lot of time doing that. Low notes, high notes. And then we simply put that on there. And Dennis, Joshua Williams really wants an answer to his question. I'm not sure what he asked.
I didn't either.
Okay, keep an eye on that for me. So if we do that, put the trumpet now. When you put the trumpet on, nothing changes. You don't have to change your cheeks, nothing. Air first, M. If you blow strong enough, it's going to turn into a steady note. And just like we did low, high on our mouthpiece, we do it on the trumpet. Oh, I see Josh's question now. Do you see it, Dennis?
I got it. Yeah.
Okay. High, low, high, low. Okay.
While you're on the trumpet, somebody was asking to have you play Mamma Mia. That was an early request.
You're welcome, Francesco. I hope that helped a little bit. Yeah, Mamma Mia. If I knew how any of those songs went, I would probably play one. Dennis, can you sing some Mamma Mia for us? I need to.
Anything ABBA.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you can dance. You can dance. I have to look that up. Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm sorry I don't know any Mamma Mia right now. I'd have to do some research on that. But hopefully that little bit was fun for you. Now, to answer Joshua's question. Joshua, you're apparently very worried about your clarinet won't let you play low F. Okay. The biggest thing, if a low note is not working on the clarinet, is it could be, let me think. One thing it could be is as you're going down for your low F, you have to make sure none of your other fingers are moving. If any air is leaking out here, your low note's not going to work. Now, you can check that, cover the holes, and then you can press really strong, and then look at your fingers, and you see the ring of the tone hole. And then you try to make sure it's centered on your finger and you're totally covering the hole. Okay? Now, if that's still not working, maybe have your band director play your instrument. It could be a problem down here. One of these, your pads might not be closing all the way. So really, number one culprit, if a note is not working on the clarinet or the saxophone or the flute, probably air is leaking out somewhere that it shouldn't be leaking out. It's either your fingers or something is wrong with your keys. So that's hopefully going to solve your problem. Mac is asking me the highest note on trumpet I can play. So Mac, here's the thing about me and trumpet. Oh, Nilo plays alto clarinet. That's cool. The thing about me and trumpet is I'm not really a practiced trumpet player. I play trumpet a lot with my students, but what I practice at home, I practice clarinet, flute, and saxophone. India really wants an answer to their question, Dennis. I'm not sure what they asked me. Okay, so my highest note on trumpet, you only really develop your high notes on trumpet if you practice every day and develop your muscles, okay? So I'm going to say my highest comfortable note on trumpet tops out at about a G, okay? That's C, G, C, then comes an E. That's a G above the staff. Anything above that, I start to get pretty, I guess I can try for an A. Yeah, now I'm starting to really thin out my sound. But I can get a pretty strong G above the staff. Okay, if I wanted to play higher, I would really need to start practicing every day on trumpet. Jeff is checking. Oh, Wyeth. Hi, Wyeth. Yeah, if I wanted to play higher notes on trumpet, I'd have to start practicing every day. Blaze is asking me, do I still teach at Garnet Valley Elementary? No, I now teach at the high school. I switched out of elementary band last year, and now I'm teaching high school band. Did you see, oh, India.
So it's high C scale on the clarinet.
A high C scale?
Yeah,
so, India, are you talking about, like from, okay, I think you probably mean this one. So the first C scale that you get in band is your C here. The second octave, you start here. I'll show you. And that high C is just your thumb and the F tone hole right here. So there is how you play, that's how you play the second octave scale of the clarinet, of a C scale. The best hacker is asking me if I play cello. I don't really play cello because I don't teach orchestra. I know a little bit about cello, but I don't practice it very much at all. Oh, Luke Sims is here. Hi, Luke. Okay, Dennis, I know I'm probably missing a lot of questions.
I have two more clarinet repair type of things.
Okay.
One, Victoria wants to know, the pad fell out on her clarinet. What should she do?
Oh. If the pad falls out in your clarinet, you go see your band director. If you don't have a band director, you go to a music store that has a repair shop, okay? And they'll fix it for you. There's really not, unless you're a trained repair person, you shouldn't try to fix a pad that's fallen out. Don't use glue or anything like that. Bring it to your music teacher. That's an easy one.
Right, another one, this is one actually for flute. How do you replace the cork on a flute?
Well, there's a couple spots where a flute has cork. They've got cork on some of the keys here to kind of keep it from clicking. And there's also cork in the head joint of the flute, which is right, whoops, my little head cap fell off. But in here, there's cork in there. So I'm not sure which cork you're talking about, but really, like I said, I would bring it to a trained person who does repairs. And if you're older, if you're in high school, or if you're older than that and you want to start to teach yourself how to do these repairs on your instrument, There's YouTube videos that tell you. You could also there's some books on how to do simple repairs on instruments. Okay, Lufty is really concerned here, really needs an answer, and has a big concert coming up. What's your question, Lufty, about your big concert? I found my cap on my flute here. Another one person is asking about the Me channel music. What, Dennis?
Let's see up there now.
Oh, okay. Lufty plays clarinet, is having a bit of trouble making a nice. I missed the end of that.
Nice clean sound. Any tips?
Oh, okay. Nice clean sound on. I already forget what you said. You say clarinet?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Nice clean sound comes down to two things. Embouchure. So we make like an O, bottom lip, flat chin, strong cheeks against your teeth, bottom lip, under the reed. So a good embouchure combined with a good reed that is in good shape. So if your reed is good and you're getting it would help me to know what kind of sound you're getting. If you're getting like a fuzzy sound, OP Gamer, I will answer you in a minute. We want to answer how to growl on clarinet and alto sax. Okay. I would say the number one thing to get a good sound on clarinet is make sure your embouchure is set and you're allowing the reed to vibrate. You can't clamp down too hard, and you'll stop the reed from vibrating. So, ooh, O shape, bottom lip over the teeth, reed, top teeth. Lots of air, really filling the instrument and getting that reed vibrating. I hope that helps. Did we get someone really wanted to know how to growl. Okay.
Yeah.
So growling is really what you do is so close your mouth and go, hmm. It's like you're singing a note, or hmm. Feel that vibration in here? Hmm. You actually play a note and you do that at the same time, okay? So I'm going, It's like you're actually growling, you're humming sort of in your throat when you play, and that gets you a real sort of scratchy sound, a growly sound. And Brian has asked this question a few times, how to control vibrato in alto sax. Here's how you play vibrato on any instrument. You practice slowly in tempo. So I think of vibrato as saying wah, 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 wah. I move my bottom lip in my jaw here, right on my reed, pushing up into the reed a little bit. Hear that sound? You have to set a metronome. And I'm going to do 2 per click like this. Wah, 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 wah. I'm going to do that on a G scale. So. Go all the way up the scale. Then you try it on 3 per beat. Wah, 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 wah. Then 4 per beat. Wah, 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 wah. And then that builds up your control. When you actually play in a song, you don't do your vibrato in a specific beat. You just have a speed that is a good sounding vibrato. Okay, we're going to get ready to wrap up, but I'll answer a couple more questions because you guys have such great questions today. Dennis, do you see this question that's come through a few times from something about someone says they're new to the saxophone world? I think I'll see if they answer it again. I caught. Yeah.
The one I had earlier was from how do you go from baritone to trumpet?
Oh, okay. And Dennis, the one I'm talking about is the one from Buzanovic Pavla. I'm new to the sax world. What is the difference between alto and tenor sax? Okay, I'll answer that in a minute. Going from baritone to trumpet, really, you know what? If you'll pardon me for a second, guys, I'm going to get my trombone. It's right here. Here's my trombone. Ugh. Actually, I'm just going to get the mouthpiece. Here's my trombone mouthpiece. And this is similar to a trumpet mouthpiece. I mean, a baritone mouthpiece, because it's much bigger. See? Trombone, sort of kind of the same for euphonium, baritone, and trumpet. Here we go. So your lips can vibrate a little bit freer on the bigger mouthpiece. You have to get used to a smaller feeling here, but still do your buzzing. So I recommend you just practice your buzzing, your high notes and low notes, whether you're switching from this to this or from this to this. You just got to get used to the new buzzing, okay? Now, the question we were saving from Buzanovic, or Bozunovic. I hope I'm saying your name right. Can anyone answer that question? What is the difference between an alto? See ya, Josh. What is the difference between an alto sax and a tenor sax? Okay, one is higher than the other. So if you guys in the chat, you can go ahead and put in what you think the difference between an alto and a tenor is. Here is an alto, and here's a tenor. If I back up, you can see, there we go. So the alto is smaller. There you go, X-Gamer, got it. Alto is smaller, tenor is bigger. And the tenor is lower pitched, right? But what they have in common is they both have the same exact fingerings. B, A, G, B, A, G, B, A, G. They just sound different notes, okay? When you play tenor sax, you are going to be playing in the same key as a trumpet and a clarinet. When you play alto sax, you're kind of all, alto saxes are in a key all to themselves. Alto saxes play a G scale for B flat on the piano, and tenor saxes play a C scale. So that's really the difference between the alto and the tenor. And guys, we are getting close to, we're 7 minutes over time, but I just feel like, Dennis, they've got such great questions today.
Yeah.
Is there anything, were there any major questions that I didn't get to that you noticed, Dennis?
No, I think you covered most of the ones that were on there, except, of course, for Mamma Mia on trumpet.
Right.
We'll come soon.
Okay.
We'll come soon.
Well, guys, if you didn't get your question answered today, I'm sorry, but I want to thank you for being here, because we have so many people chiming in with questions that it's hard for me to get to them all, but I hope you'll come back. We're not going to be on next week, but we'll be on in 2 weeks. Please keep coming back with your questions. Leave me messages on my channel. You can reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter. Here is my Dr. Selfridge at Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So I'm also looking at all your requests that you're throwing out to me on the chat. I'll try to get to as many requests as I can. How about we do a quick shout out? Let me know where you're watching from. We'll do about a minute or so of shout outs and where you're watching from. Okay? So, why don't you go ahead and chime in with what country or city you're watching from. Lufty's from Germany, Hayden's in Alabama, Australia, Nadia. Speedy is in Florida. Hello everyone who's watching from all over the world. Francesco, I know you're watching from Italy. Tasmania, okay. Nadia, oh, there you are. Nadia's in Tasmania, okay. Leah is in Canada. Lufty, Germany. India. Rowena is in Dublin. Dennis, how cool is this?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All over the world. World tour. Shivani's in Colorado. Tevin's in North Carolina. Remix is in Wyoming. Dennis is in Mexico. Bozunovac is in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Oh, sorry. Luftai. Am I getting it right? Luftai. So I want to, yeah, guys, if I'm pronouncing your names wrong, feel free to chime in and let me know because I want to make sure I get your names correctly. Okay, Fabrizio, Alabama. Hi, Fabrizio. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for another great week. I want to thank Dennis. Thank you for being with us again.
No problem.
You're doing a great job for us, fielding all of your many questions. So, folks, like I said, we'll be off next week. I will not be around, but we'll be back in 2 weeks, and I really hope you'll be back to join us again with your questions. And remember, in the meantime, always have fun, and don't forget to practice. You got to practice. Okay, guys, I will see you next time.